this. Okay, so I'll link that up so you can get to it through Moodle. It'll also be on my YouTube page, but I think it'll be easier to find on Moodle. All right, so let me probably share my screen. Go to the syllabus and we'll start working through your questions. Appreciate all you coming out on a Friday. 2, 3. All right, so go ahead. Well, just to get things started, why don't I walk us through how the syllabus works? You'll notice it is a web page. And books, we will not be using this, especially in the summer. We just don't have time to spend a lot of time going over the chapters. We're doing good to just get through our work. My personal packet is available online for free. There's also a technical writing course packet that the English department offers through the bookstore, and that's the only thing you'll need to buy. Everything else is available here. So eventually, when we start getting grades, I'll put them up here. Right now, you can check out the grading criteria and make this your friend, because we will have this same set of criteria pretty much for every assignment, except the recipes in the group assignment. Those, as long as you get it done, you make an A. 92, that's to pull up the grades. There'll also be an extra credit I'll put on Moodle, and it will be low work for you or me, just liking some Facebook pages and subscribing to my podcast, things like that, that don't require a lot of extra work on your part. And it'll add an extra point to your final grade. So if you're, say, 88, it'll boost you up to an 89, and now I'll round you up to a 90 to get an A. So anyway, for the proposal, the first thing I grade is the thesis / proposed action. So our writing, especially for the long report, but also for the resume, it's not just giving information to general people. It's trying to get a specific person to do something specific within an organization. So we don't write everybody everywhere. We might write a, if you want something done on Facebook, you could start with Mark Zuckerberg. What different. If you don't like what he's doing, you can write your senator or congressperson and say, I want a law to do this because Zuckerberg won't listen to me. He's got 1 billion friends. He doesn't get around to us all that often. So audience is tied to thesis. These two go together. Do I still have? I did. There was this good resource. I don't know if I have it. It was taken down, but anyway, they had domestic violence resource page, and I should have made a copy of it because they took it off the internet. But you write to the cops, and you have a list of what cops can do. You write to the DA, and you have a list of what the DA can get. To the judge, what can the judge do? You go to counselors, what can counselors do? And it's a different list for everybody, even though you have the same goal in mind. So thesis and your audience, your list of recommendations go with your audience. Development, be sure somewhere in the body to get to your planned changes. The worst kind of paper is writing the head of the CDC to inform that person all about COVID. Now, why would you not want to write a technical report to the head of the CDC, just giving that person information about COVID?
Because they're the head authority for that?
Yes, they already know everything you're going to say before you say it. So what would you talk to the head of the CDC about? Because there's some very important things that you might be able to help this head of the CDC out with. What's the biggest problem with COVID right now?
There's the new variant, and there's
that.
people not getting vaccinated.
Yes, even more than the variant, the thing that makes the variant able to spread so effectively is that all of your crazy Uncle Liberties out there are refusing to take the virus, the vaccine. And so I've been talking to my crazy Uncle Liberty about what would convince him to take the vaccine, and here's my plan. And the head of the CDC desperately needs that because nothing has worked. So in your development, it's not just about information, it's about persuasion, proposing an answer to a problem. It can be anything. One of my favorite over the last few years, one of my South Campus guys, he's an ag major and he works for his dad down near Alexandria. And he wrote this lovely paper about why they needed the farm, because the father is the head of a company, right? This family farm. And why it would do this farm a great service if dad would only buy him a truck. Now, not just any truck, this is a utility truck. This looks like, it's a little bigger than a pickup, but it's got the sides to it, and it's got an arm in the back to pick up shit. And, he knew everything there was to know about the truck, and he knew everything there was to know about the farm. So he was able to talk intelligently about how this truck would make it much quicker to fix the tractor X when it broke down, or get something out of the ditch, which was over on the back 40. So it was informational, but the information was all geared to getting dad to buy the truck. Does that make sense? Now, at this first assignment that we're doing, your support comes in two places. You quote from two sources in the present status of the problem, and you give me a bibliography of 15 sources in excruciating, exactingly correct MLA style. And the paper is also has to be very much in accordance with the formatting guidelines. This is a formatting class as much as it is anything. And it's all about teaching you to dig into your word options and get them to double space. Where's our example? Proposal, 10%, yeah. So here you go. Here's the present status. You have two quotes there. Don't forget the bibliography. You can turn it in as a separate document. Where's the easiest place to do your bibliography? easybib.com. So go here, create citations, and it by default will generate a window, MLA 8. And then you have to say, is it a book? Is it a journal? Is it on a website? Is it some of these other stuff? Now, journals can be online. Most of your sources will be journals. So you create manual citation, and then you fill this stuff in. Be sure that you pick out the online. And then if you're using JSTOR, you put all that JSTOR information down here. And then you put the original journal information here. And all that is on the first page of your JSTOR PDF. So then when you finish, You create the citation, and it puts it in alphabetical order. It double spaces it, it hanging indents it. It does all of this stuff for you. If you skip this and decide I'm going to do it myself, you'll have a single spaced, you may number it, it won't be hanging indent, it may just be a list of links, and you will lose points. So I don't want you losing points unnecessarily. This bibliography, if you do it right the first time, you can just put it in the next time and then the time after that. But I have people who mess it up the first time. They continue to, double down on the mess up the second time when we do the sentence outline, and then they turn it into the long report. They may fix it up by then, but who knows? So spend a little time on your bibliography now, and you'll be able to ignore it for the rest of the quarter. So what else comes in? This proposal I just showed you, the bibliography, and the audience analysis. Now you have to print or type this in, and you can't save it. You have to print it out and print it out to a PDF again, and then it'll save your information. Again, if you get the right audience right off the bat, you won't have to change it. You can just copy this form into your other subfolders when you get ready to do it. Okay, so that's the proposal. And I won't go over all of it. I've got other videos and audios and lots of stuff to walk you through it in the first few days. So here's how to write a thesis. Here's how to write a thesis for a specific audience that recommends changes. Then there's the general lecture on the proposal with lots of screenshots. So as a web page, this is the organization for my class, that you need to click on these links as you work your way down the web page. Oh, I've got a question. I like can our audience be multiple people or a group? I like an individual. It could be a committee. If so, address the chair of the committee and not the committee as a whole. All of your life, your audience that you've been writing for has been teacher, or everybody everywhere. Everybody everywhere needs to do this. So getting specific, getting to the nitty gritty, looking up information about somebody so that you can specifically write to them. This is a new talent we will be developing over the course of the quarter. So if you can get an individual, much, much better. Even if there's a committee, like we hire a new English faculty member, yes, there's a committee. But you know what we also have is a head of the department. What they want counts a lot, and you typically will communicate directly with them, unless it's listed otherwise. Unless there's a head of the committee that's not the head of the department, then you write them. So yeah, there's almost always an individual you can write to. Okay, more questions?
Was we supposed to turn in a preliminary topic?
Why don't y'all run them by me so I can see how you're doing? What's your topic?
Mine is the benefits of health information technology.
Okay, good. That's an excellent one. And who is your audience?
It's the CEO of FMOL.
That sounds very specific. Good. So basically, you're arguing to this person that they need to update their records to be electronic, right?
Yes. In other words, to use this different kind. So that's what I was wondering. Should I be focusing on a specific one, or I can? Yeah, because the whole thing, when they say health information technology, that's like telemedicine, in other words, all EHR, EMR, all of it.
You want to be real specific about, I think our company needs, or hospital or clinic or whatever, needs to invest in this software. You can compare it to something else, but You can say it's better on cost and more user-friendly, easier to integrate maybe with the stuff you already have, or maybe we need to scrap what we already have. I go to the Green Clinic and I believe they're using Windows 98. It's just old. They got these old laptops, and man, it is time for them to upgrade. So they've got some kind of, medical records technology, but it's certainly not up to date.
So you think I should just pull one individual out there?
Right. And this is what I want you to buy this, and this is what it'll cost, and this is the benefit. So it'll pay for itself in this amount of time. Because it used to, when I would go to the Green Clinic, the doctors would be, this was back in the day, before technology, before the internet, before much in the way of computers, the doctors would talk into this audio, and then they had people in rooms typing that shit up every day. And how much are we going to save if we don't have to pay those people in rooms to type everything up, because the doctors have an iPad and they're typing it up that way. So, sure, iPads cost, what, $1,000, and if you buy 100 of them, or they won't need that many, probably. Anyway, it's still not a salary, right?
Right. So you should have a photocopy material from the bibliography. What was that?
No, that's next. Just focus on what to do for this one. So this particular one, the proposal, we need the memo, and follow the memo very closely. Like, this is indented and bold. This is indented again. This is capitalized, not initial caps. It's bold. And there are 1, 2, 3 spaces between them. We call that 4 space because 1, 2, 3, 4 down to here. Double space between sections, single space within, hanging indent. All of that stuff is required for the formatting grade. So formatting is where people lose a lot of points because they do something that looks something a little bit, maybe if you squint like what I have here. Believe it or not, this is one of my better ones. That's why I chose it. But it also had stuff I could mark to be a warning to guidance to other students. So yeah, bibliography and audience analysis, those 3 things. Okay. Oh, Young, do you have a topic yet?
Yeah, mine is the importance of cardiorespiratory activity in young children.
All right, great. And who is your audience?
My audience is supposed to be like essentially the Department of Education. So I guess I'm gonna have to pick a specific person from the Department of Education.
Either statewide, or you could do parish-wide, like address the superintendent of a specific parish. But are we giving enough exercise to kids in like K through 6? Probably not. We're putting all our focus on doing well on those tests, and I don't know if they have, like real PE where they're doing like physically vigorous stuff. So find out what they're doing in a particular parish, and then recommend they do more. You can always do more, right?
Yep.
Okay, so that sounds specific. We have a chat coming through. When did we say the sentence outline was due? I mean, not the sentence outline.
I believe the proposal said it was due in the 3rd period, but I also had a question, like when is that?
No, I made a list. Oh, and I need to update y'all on that.
Yeah, that's what had me confused.
Yeah.
Because I've been working on it because I thought it was due today.
I thought it was due today too, and I was up to 2 or 3 in the morning. I still didn't finish it.
I was up late too. So
I didn't finish
kind of the nature of summer. here we go, due dates. It was the first topic. Okay, so week 1, period 1. Proposal. Let's push that back. Hold on, I'll edit it. Why don't we do it Sunday night?
Great. Oof.
That'll give y'all a couple of days to get caught up. And I will start grading at 8 that night. And I may not finish that night, but I can finish by Monday night. What's that, 18th? Or 19th?
It's the 18th.
Okay, thanks. All right, so we're going to do that. Now, I believe, has anybody been able to post in my Q&A?
No.
Sorry about that.
No, and I emailed you earlier asking a couple questions because I couldn't figure out how to post on there.
Yeah, so I think something's wrong with the forum. So scroll way down here. I wasn't able to move this up either. I started a new Q&A forum down at the bottom of the Moodle page. So put your stuff in there. Somebody try it now and let's see if it works. Who's got a computer?
Yeah, it works now.
Ah, great. Awesome. Sorry about that. I don't know. When I used to try to fish, which I never enjoyed and found incredibly boring because I never caught any fish, the old fart on the other side of the boat, usually my dad, but sometimes one of his friends would say, well, son, you're not holding your mouth right. So I guess I didn't hold my mouth right when I set that first one up. Yeah, so we'll push it back. I think it was there that it was listed as the original Q&A. All right, Gilbert, what's your topic?
My topic is, how do I word this correctly?
I didn't understand.
How to, it's basically that we should be using robots in search and recovery missions.
Oh, okay. To help?
Yes.
Okay, so who would your audience be?
I made my audience someone who works in robotic process automation.
I think you should. Do they have to invent the robots? Is that the thing?
They have robots that do some things, but I'm mainly focusing on getting them to do more.
Okay, so let's expand what robots can do. You know, a lot of people that worked on 9/11 later got sick and died because of all the toxins in the air.
Yes.
It could avoid that kind of outcome. Although, if they had worn masks, they would have also avoided. But tell that to your crazy Uncle Liberty. Is definitely not into mask wearing, not anymore. Yeah, that sounds good. Pick out a specific company that's doing robotics and tell whoever's in charge of R&D, you need to be working on this specific kind of robot. And then once we have it, we can market it. But right now we need to invent it.
Okay, thank you.
All right, good. Rosario, I can't see the whole last name. Hernandez, maybe?
Yes, sir.
So what's your topic?
Mine was also going to have to do with health information. I don't have anything specific for it yet, but I know.
Well, you heard what we were talking about, right?
Yes, sir.
You need a specific. You need a specific audience and implement one thing about HIM, not just explain the whole field to them. So this is what we need to do here. All right, good. All right, Williams.
My topic is The physical activity can help prevent visual impairment, and my audience is the executive director at the Blind Center.
Oh, yes, excellent. What kind of physical activity?
Just daily exercises and stuff to help with the specific nerves and connections that have to do with your optics.
So they're eye exercises?
That and just because physical activity can help your body in so many ways, I wanted to focus on what could specifically help your eyes. I'm still doing more research as to what specific activities could do that. I haven't gotten that part done yet.
Ah, cool. And yeah, I think the Blind Center would be a good place to do it. I know they do balance stuff. It's called occupational therapy. Like if you start getting dizzy because your inner ears are going out,
Right.
they do stuff with you like stand on one leg. You know, I've been through these. That's why I'm standing up and not lying on the floor waiting for the room to stop spinning. So if there's stuff for eyes, that would be great.
Okay.
All right, Jodwin.
My topic was embryonic stem cell research.
Now that's really broad, so you need to bring it in, make it more specific.
What do you mean by that?
Okay, who's your audience?
My initial audience was a professor here at Tech, Dr. Jamie Newman, but from what you've said, it may be a bit different than that.
Right, yes, good, a good insight. You will need a person who's not at Tech. Generally speaking, we try to avoid Tech professors, just for the reason I mentioned. All your life you've been writing to teacher. And so we're trying to get you used to writing to not the teacher. So pick out somebody. There's a budding problem that might be able to be addressed by stem cell research. You'll need a specific problem, and then how we're going to implement stem cell research here at, I don't know.
Well, my specification was the embryonic part.
Right.
We induce pluripotent stem cells, but
right.
Embryonic is something that doesn't get as much focus, I guess, because there are a lot of issues around it. So that's what I'm trying to present.
So like ethical issues or legal issues?
Yes.
Right. Well, if you want to change the law, who does most medical research? United States National Institutes of Health. And so this is from 2020, California's vote to revive controversial stem cell institute. So you could be arguing that Louisiana needs its own stem cell institute. Although I assume in Louisiana it would involve, walking through the woods and breaking off little sticks from trees, stems, or maybe the marijuana stems. I don't know. You could talk to California about what they need to do further. I don't know. We have had some research going on here. I just don't know how much. But even if you want to make it Louisiana and say, let's catch up to California, great. Then you need to find out who's the head of our local thing that involves funding from the National Institutes of Health. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So you're not just telling them what stem cell research is, you also get into, like if you have a specific disease, that would be better, and why stem cell research with
what I'm doing is talking about the ethical and political issues and saying why it's so important to do.
You can work through that some, but you also need to get through to your plan. So always get to your plan. How are we going to do this? And maybe that's your plan is we need to go to the House and Senate and the governor and maybe meet with the bishops and see what their concerns are, something, just get a list of things you think they should do in order to push forward with changing the rules.
Okay.
That sounds kind of what you're doing is, but it's not just the ethics, it's also how are we going to address the concerns of wherever you want to change. And if you decide Louisiana is too steep a climb because of our Catholic heritage and Baptist, they're both kind of on the same page with this stuff. You can go where people are not quite so, hardcore about that kind of stuff, if that makes sense.
It makes sense.
Arizona, maybe, or Nevada. They've got gambling, so maybe they'll do this. Or you could do California and just say we need to push it forward in this way. So you either get a place that's not doing it at all and get them to do it some, or you get a place that's open to doing it and why we should do this area of it as well. So.
Okay.
But I would address, the head of one of those programs and how we can change it going forward.
All right.
All right, any more questions?
So the 15 sources for the proposal are due the same day as the proposal, so same day?
Turn in the proposal, the bibliography with 15 sources, and the audience analysis sheet. These are all due at the same time. So when I go in and grade it, if there's no audience analysis sheet, don't come back and say, "Oh, I forgot," and here it is. We move forward quickly in this class, so we can't afford to look back over. Don't go back and correct old stuff. Just correct going forward what you do next. Here we go. So here are your assignments.
And on the bibliography, you want 5 government sites and the rest have to be journals, or I can use some off of websites?
Good quality websites are fine. Also, we need 1 OED definition, so don't forget that. Summer, so each one of you has a folder. In it is a folder for the proposal, sentence outline, long report, and resume. So when you get ready to turn in your sentence outline, go to your Dropbox proposal folder and just save stuff into here. Does that make sense?
Explain that again.
All right. Have you installed Dropbox yet?
No, it always be already on mine.
Oh, you already have Dropbox. Okay.
From other classes.
Good. You're ahead. Does anybody not have Dropbox? Jodwin, do you have Dropbox?
Yes, sir.
Gilbert, do you have Dropbox?
I think so. I haven't used it in a while.
All right, Williams, do you have Dropbox?
Yes, sir.
Young, do you have Dropbox?
Yes, sir.
Y'all are the most amazingly together group of 5 people I have ever seen. I have never had everybody already have Dropbox. All right, so who has a good computer and a good connection and you're using that now?
I do.
All right, go ahead and let me set this up. Multiple. All right, so go ahead and share your screen with us and we'll walk through how to get Dropbox set up to take your assignments.
While she's doing that, I was going to ask, are interviews with people considered a source for the proposal? Or?
They're your best kind of source. It's called a primary source, one that you go out and do the research yourself. So yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Share your screen. All right, minimize your browser so it can see your desktop. Good. Okay, where is Dropbox on here?
I'm probably going to have to pull it up.
All right, go to Dropbox.com. Make your screen a little bigger. It's kind of narrow. There we go. All right, Dropbox.com.
Yeah.
Welcome to Louisiana Tech University. What opportunity will you seize today? I am going to seize Dropbox. Okay, so go ahead and sign into your account. I'm going to minimize this little box. I can figure out how. Ah, there we go. Now, do you have an account already?
No, I don't have an account. That's what I
Oh,
was
okay,
wondering.
good,
So
good,
do
good.
I supposed to sign it? So I guess I don't have it.
All right, yeah, we'll set it up.
No, I don't have one.
Good, that's what I was hunting for. So use your email that you want to use for Dropbox. It can be your email from Tech, but it doesn't have to be. Good, now your password.
But I don't have one set up, so wouldn't I have to make up one?
Yes, just X out of that. I don't know what they're trying to, the chat, get rid of the chat. You may have to move your Zoom boxes around. There's a little X to the right. You could go
Let
up.
me see, because this box in the wall.
Yeah, you'll have to minimize that.
Okay, there we go.
All
There
right.
we go.
Okay, so we were trying to set up. Go ahead and sign in. All right, so use your email address you want. I'm not sure if we successfully created an account. Let's see.
Yeah, I don't think we did either.
I think we're about halfway through it when that dialog box popped up. It messed us up. All right, create an account. Click on that up there. There's a create above sign in or right by sign in. Yeah, there we go. All right, now put your information back in. And you may have to go to your email to get it to verify it. Do not do Dropbox Plus. Do the thing at the bottom, the 2 gig Dropbox basic plan. This is very important for everybody. They will try to upsell you and get, you know, like $100 a year for 2 terabytes of space. And that's great if you need 2 terabytes, but you guys don't, and you need your money more than you need that much room. So get the basic.
So I just download this Dropbox.
Let's see. Yes, download Dropbox. Okay, and you will be tempted, guys, just to leave Dropbox online and handle it that way, but we're going to be doing stuff that can only be done if you actually install Dropbox on your computer. So you know, the reason I've changed to doing grades here is because, yeah, go ahead. Moodle A stops taking my audience analysis sheets because it doesn't like them. It says if somebody already did this, yes, everybody does. But B, it takes a long time before you can see your work. It looks like that's going to be a while. Oh, it's going down again. Good. And so Dropbox, I'm able to grade it, and then you're able to see it right away. Now, I need you guys to save your files. All of your files as PDFs and not as docx, because that way I can grade them more easily, and it won't affect your formatting, and formatting is part of the grade. So anytime I open up a docx file, my machine kind of reformats it some. It may push something to the next page or change spacing or something. So save it as a PDF. What else? Anybody got another question while we're downloading?
So you did say, was it a certain amount of journals for the bibliography?
I think
that we need to use?
five journals, five government documents.
Government.
And,
okay, and then the rest can be from websites.
Yeah, wherever. And the journals will generally be on the web. And sometimes you'll find more helpful stuff online depending on the topic.
So we need to turn everything in through Dropbox, or are we not? We're not using Turnitin.
The only time we will use Turnitin, your actual long report, to assure quality and that you aren't plagiarizing, we'll run that through Turnitin, but I will grade it still on my website on Dropbox, because it's just so much easier and quicker to do it on Dropbox.
I had a couple questions on that.
I don't have a lot of problems with you're not going to steal somebody else's resume. I hope. And your research papers are so specific to you, but just to be sure, because I like us to be sure, we go ahead and run the long report, just the long report itself, through Turnitin. But then I grade it, like I say, on my Dropbox.
I have a question on the audience profile sheet.
Sure.
You asked for like the reader's personality characteristics and the reader's likes and dislikes. So how will we find that out? Like, how would I find that out about
online? Look them up
about the person.
Turnitin.
I looked this stuff up. This part of it, I got it on LinkedIn, but I didn't understand quite how to get the characteristics.
Okay, you may not be able to fill it all in. Just put not available, because that's real life, right? You find out what you can and then guess about the rest. Like, I might not know who the head, if I'm applying for an English teaching job, I might not know who the head of the department is, but I know they have a PhD in English. And I know, hey, they like to read.
Okay.
Right? So make your best guess based on, what you think, what kind of person that kind of job would attract.
And then like the reader's attitude towards you and the subject, would that be like how he would feel about my presentation? Well, like what I think he would feel, or?
Right, your guess. So if you're going into Exxon and talking about the Green New Deal, what do you think their attitude is going to be?
Okay, I got you. I got it. That's what I was trying to relate.
They're gonna call security and have you. Right.
Right.
They don't want no stinking Green New Deal. It's not enough money in their pocket. That puts money in their pocket. If grandma puts sun, what do they call them? Some of those panels, solar panels on her roof. She'll actually be able to sell electricity back to the company, and that doesn't make any money for Exxon, so they hate that idea. Yeah, we're getting there.
I have a question about the sources for the bibliography.
Yes.
Okay, so for my topic specifically, there really aren't many government websites to pull from. Is
What's
it
your
okay if I
topic?
get journals that came from government websites?
I'm going to switch back and share my screen while you wait on that. So what's your topic?
Cardiorespiratory activities for kids.
Yeah, I pulled mine up too, and the ones that I did find on mine, they was like, oh.
It's like I have
Yeah.
something from the CDC. I have something from a government organization for health. It's not the CDC. And then
Okay.
after that, it's like journals that come from a government funded website.
Are you looking at my list?
Yeah. It's only a few places where I can actually pull useful information. Because everything else is like, based on adults.
Is there a problem with what I'm looking at here?
And some of mine I was pulling up, it was really just like a paragraph. It wasn't like the whole article for some reason.
Yeah, okay, so that's what I'm using from the CDC, actually.
Okay, good. So let's go through some more. Cardiovascular responses to exercise in children. Now you will get probably abstracts. Is that what you're talking about? You get
right, that's what I was getting.
Well, some of them are abstracts, and the ones that were just abstracts, I either left alone or I went to see what they cited,
right,
and pulled stuff from there. But they're not the ones that they have in their citations generally aren't government.
Yeah, and this is 1998.
Right, because then you say they had to be 2 years.
Yeah, well.
And see, that's where I'm having a problem at.
Right. Let's not get over exercised on that. Cardiovascular endurance exercises. Yeah, you're getting a lot of download full text.
Yeah. It's there's a few of them that are like there's it's something from a government funded site and it's a journal.
Well, so that's okay. From author title. Well, yeah, then that's basically a government document if the government's paying for it.
Okay.
This one's typed up on an old like
a typewriter.
Yeah, what year is this? That may be another March 76. Wow. Yeah, baby. Cutting edge.
Yeah, not much research has been done into the field because they generally do it for adults and for young adults and teens.
Right. But when the problem is the ethical stuff about working with kids, but then you don't know anything. Yeah. Is there a way to advanced search? Google used to have a way to search Google search engine for government documents. Hey, here we go. Canadian. Let's see what the Canadians are doing.
It's kind of funny because I ended up having to pull something that was a Canadian government.
Oh, that's still
my
government
stuff was
document.
from China.
Oh, China's cool.
Yeah, I had a lot of information that was coming up from China. Actually, the most I found was from China.
Well, could you read it? Was it in English?
It was in English. But it was like an international journal. That's what it was. It was an international journal.
Right.
China and Switzerland.
Cool. This doesn't look like a hoe. Where is They used to have Uncle Sam. Oh, fucking A. They killed the Uncle Sam search protocol. That was computer language, guys. So I guess firstgov.gov is our only choice anymore. Is there a way to search it? There doesn't seem to be an advanced search.
Honestly, with like the main way I was finding government articles and journals that were, that made sense to my topic was I just typed in my topic on Google and then didn't click on anything unless it said .gov.
You're buzzing and we can't hear you. Something's going wrong with your signal. Ah, something's better.
Okay.
That's better.
Yeah.
What was happening?
I'm borrowing headphones from my roommate and they're terrible. But what I did was I just went to Google, I typed what I was researching, and I just didn't click on anything unless it said .gov for it. But I mean, I came up with some stuff, but a lot of it was, it just repeated itself.
Google does have some physical activity guidelines. That'll work. That's current, right? Do you have this?
No. Is that a textbook or something?
I'm gonna text the, I don't know when second edition is. Let's just say if you find any government documents, we're having so much trouble. Let's see, chat. Right, it's Sunday now. All right, so there's your second edition guidelines. Active adults, active children, and adolescents, 46 to 55. So that's a good 10-page sub-article on it. And they don't seem to have a date.
So do you still want us to stay within the 2 years or just try to if we can, but if not, don't worry about it?
If you can, get in the last 2 years. If you can't, that's fine.
Okay.
Some of these topics, they don't do as much research as others.
Okay.
This looks pretty cool. And you could get some of the pictures too. Young physical activity guidelines. I'm gonna send you my search.
Cool, that would be very helpful.
Yeah. A lot of it's just playing with keywords. See if that'll take you there. That's the list I'm looking at. Kids and exercise for parents. Kidshealth.org. I'm not sure if that's technically government, but it's, who is Nemours? The Nemours Foundation. So they're a foundation. So we've gotten beyond government. So a lot of these are government. So yeah. Kanisha, do you want to share your screen again? Let's see how we're coming with the Dropbox.
Okay. Well, what did I do? I'm trying to pull you back up.
Go down to the bottom. There's a green thing that says share screen.
Okay, there it is. No, my box it shrunk, but I got it.
Here we go. All right, so I just click not now for that. You can always set it up later. So what happened to our Dropbox file? Click on to shared. This is an important link for everybody. Okay, verify your email. So you'll need to go to your email, tech email now.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to it now. It's quicker to go to on my phone.
You need to like open up any window or something.
I'm going to it on my phone.
Okay, that'll work too, maybe. It should.
Because it's just sending me a code or something, huh?
They may have a link you have to click.
Okay, it just sent. Please verify your email address.
Here it comes. All right, so add your folder. Add to Dropbox. Okay, now we need to install Dropbox. So minimize the browser. Oh, it looks like it did set up. Good.
It's set up.
All right.
So that's it?
Yep. Whenever you, I think there should be a Dropbox folder on your desktop. If you could minimize that for a minute. Just the folder. Let's see if Dropbox has a desktop. Like we need to see behind that folder. Can you minimize that folder? I just wanted to show them Dropbox.
He means to take like minimize the window.
Yeah, that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, there it is, bottom left. So whenever you get ready to put your assignment, you click into that Dropbox, bottom left. Now, I guess it installed while we were off. You have to be careful installing. Don't let it back up your desktop and files.
Yeah, because it did ask me that.
And they want you to do that.
It asked that I want to link my other files, and I said no.
No, that is right, because it will fill up the Dropbox instantly, and then you'll have to buy more space. So, or come to me if you get stuck with that, and we'll undo it. It can be undone. All right, so click on Chambers, and you'll see the 4 Okay, so when you get ready to turn in your proposal,
Okay.
click on proposal and drop the proposal in, the bibliography, and the audience analysis, and make sure all three of them are in PDF format. All right, any more questions? How are y'all doing on your recipes?
Small question with that. Are we? I'm pretty sure I saw an instruction where we're supposed to make one of these.
You don't have to make it, but get some pictures from. Like it can be of you making something, or you can go just take ingredients pictures.
Okay, and do we need to do that for each one? Like just like have a picture?
No, I just wanted you to experience inserting an image into a file. So one of those will give you that. If you don't want to do all four, that's fine. That'll make it prettier. I'll show you one of mine.
I haven't started. I'm gonna start this. You had on there, what do you mean? You got put a note in Moodle recipe form, check the box for corrections. That's if we did, if you corrected something.
Yeah, if I give you corrections, I don't look back at it until you make me a note to go look at it. So it's not like I go through those. I only know that you've made your corrections if you go through there. So I think most of, well, you could do ingredients like that. Just, you know, either I have done them in the store before. Oh, red beans. Yeah, here we go. So don't feel like buying them, go in the store and hold it up and take a picture. I can get it off their website, but I got that one in the store. Because, you know, you got to get the Camilla beans. And I actually did make this recipe. Me and my, how old was he? – 2014. He was 7. Yeah. Oh, here we go. That's all the ingredients. Get all the ingredients. And don't forget your garlic bread. So, all right, any more questions?
So we shouldn't be worried about the progress report for the group stuff because it's in period 3.
Yeah, because of the intensity, we wound up not really doing the group stuff until we got the long report out of the way, and that seemed to work pretty well last term. Because normally we have a lot more time to do stuff, but you know that first several, like 3 weeks, is all focused on this long report so much. So if that sounds cool with you guys, you can go ahead and be making your choices, but we'll really get going after we turn in the long report.
So we don't need to meet up right now. We need to be
I would say if you want to pick out what you want to work on and you know, get your choice, then talk together and look over stuff. But beyond that, I think it'll be easier if we just wait a bit and then start, because you won't have time to work on it anyway right now.
Right.
Summer's just so ridiculous. You know, we take a 10-week course, which is already boiled down from a 16-week course, and we're going to be making a 5-week course. So we're just trying to keep our head above water. All right, any more questions?
Well, I think that's all. I'll think of everything when I get off.
Well, we've got the new Q&A section way down at the bottom because I couldn't figure out how to move it up, and the tech support people have gone home for the weekend. So I called 3 times, but they were all gone. Everything closes down at 12 on Friday.
And you got on this audience profile sheet, it say kind of reader, which is primary or secondary, is like a secondary source. So
yeah, secondary
what is
reader,
that meaning towards him?
A secondary reader would just be who would read it later. Like, you know, I wouldn't put too much emphasis on that. The thing is, you got to be careful because, like, all those memos they circulated in Exxon back in the 70s about how dangerous global warming is, that's coming back to bite them now because we're the secondary readers now. So you can think about it a bit, but if y'all can get the primary reader down, I'll be happy.
Okay. That's all I can think of right now, I guess.
Anybody else?
And you had some about a photocopy of something. Did we supposed to take a picture or something?
That's later on. That you can just do.
So that's not with this bibliography?
Right. You can do a screenshot. You're looking ahead. Don't do that.
Oh no, that's in period 2.
What are we talking about? Let's take a look.
Where it say turn in the preliminary topic?
I kind of didn't do that. It's not graded. I like to get just the basic topic and figure out who's the audience going to be and what your proposal going to be.
Okay.
I probably need to delete that. That's something I inherited.
Oh, okay.
Turn in preliminary topic. Yeah, thanks. I'm going to take that out. Nobody even uses info track. Is that even a thing anymore?
And isn't it a way we can go in through the tech library?
Yeah. Right.
From
I'll look
online?
into that in just a second. Hold on. If I don't correct it now, I'll never think about it. All right. So, library. We want to go to the tech library. Now, the place you find journal articles varies depending on your major, but all of our databases are in databases A to Z. And you would probably be in something having to do with medicine. I don't know. Oh, no, we don't want that. That's crystals and stuff. You may have to scroll down it. What database do you use when you're doing research in your major?
We haven't used any databases. We just kind of looked up information online and looked up articles, but we never did go through the tech one.
Right. Ah, well, good. This would be something new. Consumer, Health Watch, biological, nursing, health source nursing, Medic Latina, Medline, this seems to be the most extensive. Oh, but this is what you want, Medline with full text, because text library, frankly, isn't going to have that much. So if the database doesn't have the article, it's not much good. So what are you interested in writing on?
Health information technology.
Now you might want to narrow it some because you got 16,000 here. But...
telehealth or telemedicine.
Okay, tell them. So this looks new. All right, so here's stuff. Now let's go in the OED because it's in the same area. And EBSCOhost, they do a lot of these different databases. So they all basically interface the same. So OED is Oxford English Dictionary. Click on that at our library. Now I logged in recently, so they remember. Let me try something I never use. So databases, Oxford. Oh, sometimes these work, sometimes they don't. May just have to scroll down. LMN. Oh, here we go. Usually you'll have to log in. Here we go. So log in the way you usually do. I don't know if I typed it right. Do you hate Duo Push as much as I do? This is such a waste of time. To get on Zoom, it's like 15 steps. Okay, so telemedicine. See if it's in their dictionary. Ah, here we go. Let's blow that up some. So get full entry. So there's your definition right there. Then you just copy and paste it. All right, any more questions? But if you go to oed.com, you won't be able to get in that way. You have to go in through the library.
Okay.
Because that's how we pay for our subscription. All right, is everybody feeling enlightened or hungry? All right, well, we'll have these meetups from time to time, and if you feel like you need to get one, let me know, and probably other people will be too. So, all right, well, I will see you guys next time.
Thank you.
Thanks for meeting with us.
Well, thank you guys for showing up. This was a good crew for a Friday afternoon.
Thank you.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Thank you. Bye.